Hello, my name is Courtney Yoshimura. I am a DCLA Program Officer and will be narrating this video. This video is for recipients of Initiative Grant funding through the Department of Cultural Affairs in fiscal year 2021. Because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, this video will replace our customary in-person final reporting seminars for these initiatives. In tandem with this video, it is imperative to regularly consult the written instructions, particularly if this is your organization's first initiative-specific grant.
¿Tiene alguna pregunta en español? Puede pedir asistencia en español enviando un email al helpdesk al cdfhelpdesk@culture.nyc.gov. Mi colega o yo le contestaremos su pregunta lo más rápido posible.
This video is applicable to grantees under the following FY21 Initiative grants: Anti-Gun Violence, Art a Catalyst for Change, Cultural After-School Adventures, or CASA, Cultural Immigrant Initiative, Coalition of Theaters of Color, or CTC, Mayor's Grant for Cultural Impact, SU-CASA. The reporting process described here will be the same for grantees under each of these initiatives. Organizations will submit one report for each of the designations here for which they receive funding in FY21. Note that the Disability Forward Fund and Language Access Fund awards were folded into grant agreements for the Cultural Development Fund in FY21 and should be reported as part of the CDF process, which is separate from this one. This video will provide information about what your organization can expect in the following areas in FY21. Allowable categories of expenses related to COVID-19 will be approved. There are changes to how we communicate with your organization during this time. Organizations will not submit a scope of service request for revision. The online initiative final report form is essentially unchanged. Communication with your programs officer will be over email and/or Microsoft Teams. Our review process may take longer than in the past. This video does not include the opportunity for you to ask questions unique to your organization. After you have reviewed this video and the PDF of reporting instructions, a link to which can be found in your email notification, please email any remaining questions to your organization's assigned program officer. Changes in scope will be approved for organizations that demonstrate reasonable adjustments to their programs resulting from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. We understand that because many organizations were notified of funding in the second half of fiscal 2021, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on initiative programs may be significant. Our oversight agencies have approved categories of expenses that can be charged to these initiative grants. All grantees should review the fiscal 2021 instructions and the initiative reporting page of our website. Please note that this page cannot be accessed by navigating from our main website. Please click the link in your organization's initiative reporting email to access it. Expenses in the following categories, detailed in the budget portion of the final report form, will be allowable. Expenses related to the planning and preparation for the delivery of curtailed programs, including staff salaries, consultant expenditures, marketing materials, and other preparation costs. Expenses related to the conversion of programs for online delivery, including technical support and personnel expenses, although equipment purchases are still not eligible. Expenses related to the cancellation of programs, including contractual obligations, deposits, and other fees. In FY21, there will be no scope changes available for initiatives. Grantees that can demonstrate sufficient allowable expenses will retain their initial payments, frequently 80% of the total award. Please contact your program officer immediately if your organization was not able to deliver any public services under the grant or did not incur sufficient expenses reflective of the grant amount. There is a possibility that in cases where there were no public services delivered, a final payment may not be issued. The online report form will be essentially unchanged from FY20. This report must be approved by the agency before you can receive your final payment. If your program officer finds your final report insufficiently detailed, you'll be able to submit the form, but the added time for revisions can result in delays to your final payment. In the online form, you'll be required to provide information about all of the designations you received in FY21 under that particular initiative. The reporting form can be accessed from the initiative reporting page of our website, which you can access from the email sent by your program officer. This page is not otherwise navigable from our website. Please note that you cannot save the final report form as you're working on it. We recommend preparing your narrative and budget figures offline prior to entering them. The final report asks you to provide detailed information about the funded activities as they actually occurred. Include a description of the program structure, information about the artistic disciplines in which you worked, and any culminating activities that took place. Describe who was served, what occurred, when it happened, where it took place, how many activities took place, and how frequently. If you are reporting on multiple designations within this initiative, you'll need to include some overall detail on your organization's activities and highlight specific activities that took place as part of each designation. This report requires web-based documentation of the activities that your organization completed as part of the relevant initiative. At least one link is required. You cannot upload documents in these fields. Examples of documentation your organization could submit include, but are not limited to, a page on a photo sharing service showing photos of your programming in action, a blog post with programs from a culminating exhibition, a web shared folder containing letters of support from participants, a video link to a recording of a culminating event, or a Google Doc showing curricular materials from educational programs. Links submitted need to be accessible without a password or other protection. If they are protected, we won't be able to view them. CASA, Immigrant Initiative, CTC, and Anti-Gun Violence grantees will upload a completed initiative designation list. Grantees receive this list as an Excel document attached to the Initiative Final Report email. Grantees will complete the requested columns: project cost per designation, contact hours for the program, direct recipients, and indirect recipients, and will upload one designation list per final report. The initiative instructions give more detail on the definitions of these fields. Please do not modify the first 4 columns of this sheet or rename it. Once completed, you'll upload this spreadsheet using the Browse feature within the final report. The program staff is working both in the office and remotely. As mentioned before, all organizations should email their program officer with questions. It will help us serve you more efficiently if you send one email with all your reporting-related questions, rather than sending multiple emails as you work your way through the report. In cases where it would be easier to speak in person, your program officer is available to schedule a phone or video meeting with you using Microsoft Teams. Please make every effort to begin the report soon, as your program officer may not be able to schedule a call in the days leading up to the deadline. Email remains the best way to reach your program officer. If you do not know who your program officer is, you can email our help desk at cdfhelpdesk@culture.nyc.gov. Your organization's final payments can be issued only when the final report and supplemental submissions are approved. Our reduced staff will be working through thousands of final reports. Like many of our grantee organizations, we are adapting our systems and protocols in this hybrid environment, and as a result, the review of FY21 Final Reports may take longer than it has in the past. We know that you are eager to receive your final payments, and we are eager to issue them. All active users registered with your organization will receive confirmation emails when your online final report and supplemental submissions are received and will be reviewed. Please wait to hear from us about the status of your report. Time spent responding to individual inquiries takes away from our time to process payments. Once you submit your completed report, the form will be directed to your program officer for review. After your program officer has reviewed your report, you can expect one of 2 things. If your report is approved, it will be processed for final payment. If revisions are requested, your report cannot be approved as submitted. In this case, you can expect an email from your program officer with instructions for how to correct the final report so that it can be approved. Unlike the Cultural Development Fund final report, the submitted draft cannot be edited. If revisions are required, the report will need to be completed again. This is another reason we recommend working offline and saving your documents, as any requested revisions will require resubmission of the full report. Once acceptable revisions have been submitted, your report will be approved and DCLA will process your final payment. Other than volume, reasons for delay usually have to do with not following the instructions. You can avoid delays by submitting the final report and supplemental materials by the deadline, including sufficient detail in your report, ensuring the report does not refer to activities outside the city's 5 boroughs or outside the city's fiscal year, excluding any activities funded by the Cultural Development Fund or your other initiative grants, not copying the text you initially submitted to describe your program in your project synopsis. Remember, September 13th is not the first day you can submit your final report. It is the last day you can submit. This deadline coincides with the deadline for the Cultural Development Fund as well, so we recommend beginning work on these reports as early as possible. Thank you for watching this video. We look forward to working with your organization on these reports.